What's up, guys? Today decided I am very unhappy with just the Teflon on the Whammy bar. Keeps coming loose, and I figured, okay, Whammy bar is just way too low and it just rocks back and forth in the bar. I don't like it. So what I got over here, I have it already chucked up in the lathe, some aluminum, and we're gonna make a washer, a thick washer, 140 thousandths from here over. We're going to turn this down to 442 thousandths of an inch, and then we're going to come in and we're going to drill a hole, a number 2 bit, which is a 221 thousandths of an inch. That's going to give us not a full depth on these threads, but this is harder than the aluminum, and this will cut just enough threads in there to keep it real snug on this part of the Whammy bar. And then the washer itself, it's gonna, kind of just sit here like so, and it'll be butted up against this part and the bridge. Alright, so there we go. We got that real heavy washer, so to speak, on there. Then this part will butt up against the bridge saddle. Now we got to take care of this part here. So we're going to take a 6mm screw, and what I want to do is I want to insert, just make a little recess here, that when this Whammy bar is screwed into the bar, I'm going to screw this in the other end, and it will meet up and it will stop the rocking back and forth with the threads. Alright, so what I did was I took the screw and I chucked it that way, and there's a big enough, hex or Phillips, and I'm going to run a center drill, and then I'm going to run a pilot hole out there to be as true as possible. Alright, so I got the washer done, and then the screw here, you could see all I did was drill that right through there, and then this had to be filed up because it was untrue, so I left it in the lathe. And then over here on the Whammy, you can see, let me get this in focus better, there you go, this tip here, it protruded out, and I'm assuming there was a set screw that was meant to go there, and I filed this by hand that it's even. So we'll screw this part of the Whammy bar into the block, and then after that's done, we'll screw the screw into the block, and then that will line up, and I'll have a nice, hopefully snug Whammy bar that it's not rocking back and forth, and I could do away with that Teflon. Alright, so there's another thing, I took a look at my other guitar, and the bar itself has less of a bend on that one in the lathe, so there's more of an angle this way. So what I just did was I put it in the chuck of the lathe, and I just gave it ever so slightly a tug, and I kept going back and forth with this bar and that bar until I got them even. Okay, so down here we have that bolt in there. You could see the Whammy bar. I put the Whammy bar in there, and that's just gonna ride in there, and it takes up that excess slack. Alright, so then you just take this in and run this in. Okay, so now you could see it, lot less wiggle there, and the height adjustment is further up here too, because there was no room to push your fingers down. So you can see that's about 2 inches, and before we were down, oh man, we were lucky if we were an 1/8 inch over 1 inch. That's how close this was down there. Okay, so you could see that's as far as the Whammy bar will flop back, which is perfect for hitting it down like this. And then when you bring it up, it's nice, and there's hardly any slop in it now, rocking it back and forth. The other thing is it was too low, like I said, from the body to here is now about the center to the body. It's about 2 inches, and it just fits right in the palm of your hand, and it just works. Before, my fingers were hitting as I depress, just not comfortable. They didn't have it bent right. So anybody else, I don't mind it swinging like this, but I did mind the slop back and forth this way, and that tightened it up.